There you go. If you are joining us from the laptop, if you look on your bottom left, you can actually choose your captured language. So if English is not your first language and you would like to have some subtitles in your native language, or if you would like to have English subtitles, you can choose your language there on the bottom left. So that might be helpful to some of you yeah, who are joining this via WebEx for the first time or whose first language is not English. All right, so before we start, thank you for joining this Code Week session. And Irina is here from Code Week and she will give us a proper welcome and introduction. Over to you, Irina.
Hello everyone. My name is Irini and I'm part of the EU Code Week team. I'm really glad that we could manage to have these Apple sessions. So if you know I don't know if all of you are familiar. I see now in the participants we are almost 100 and this is amazing. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedules to join us today and join the series of webinars. So EU Code Week is a grassroots initiative trying to promote coding and digital literacy to every student, providing teacher trainings, opportunity for teachers, and bringing together ambassadors, representatives from the ministries and teachers together to work along with the new informatics needs that we are building in Europe. Is funded by the European Commission, and we are really glad that we could manage it by EUN. So I'm working at the European Schoolnet, and we are trying to bring all the knowledge that we have into the project as well. So this is the first webinar that we're offering for autumn this year. So Code Week is highlighted between 7 and 22nd of October, and we will be super glad if you can have a look in our website, see what Code Week is, post your fancy activities or welcome every kind of activity in our Code Week map. And if you have any questions about this community, you can always come back to me. But today, this Monday and next Monday, Suzanne will guide us through a really nice steps to design an Apple, and I'm looking forward to it. And also, if you are teachers, a really incredible session on student is coming in October. So looking forward to share with you more next week. So, but for now, we will thank you so much for taking time and being here with us. If you have any questions about the project and how we reach out in your countries, you can do so. You can go to our website, play around, and you can find your community at your country and connect with them. They are all happy to help you on how to promote Code Week and how to take part in this initiative. But for now, I will leave the floor to Suzanne to let us know more about Design a Simple App. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you very much, Irini. Okay, so my name is Suzanne Lustenhouwer. I'm an English teacher and also now a coding teacher. I am based in Amsterdam. And what we're going to do today is to design a simple app in Keynote, which is actually a presentation software, but you can use it to design apps as well. So I started out being an English teacher. And then we saw that Apple released this coding curriculum. And then we thought, okay, we really need to offer this to our students as well, because it's such an important skill. But we were a really small school, so we didn't have the capacity to hire any ICT teachers with this knowledge. So we decided to go and do it ourselves. So I honestly think that every teacher is also able to teach coding, even though it might be scary at first. And so what we are going to do today is not really coding, but it's part of it. It's the designing. So letting your students design their own app, whether it's an app for like the personal use that maybe you would do at your form group or with your mentor class, or whether it's an app that might be complementary to what you're doing in geography or in English. So as we are going through the next hour and a half, we'll also let you think about, okay, what are some of the ways that we can link this back to my classroom? Because I might not have like a coding hour, okay, but how can I fit this into what I'm doing with my 9-year-olds or what I'm doing with my 16-year-olds in geography class? It's a really versatile skill once your students have it. So first things first, let's have a look at what we'll be talking about. So this is part of the Everyone Can Code curriculum by Apple, and this project is called Design a Simple App, and you can download it from the Apple Learning Center. This is the QR code for it, and I will also put the link in the chat. And here we go. So feel free to post that or grab that from the website. So if you open this link, it will send you to the Learning Center, to the Swift Playgrounds page. And Swift Playgrounds is what is used for coding. And so let's just go through there as well. But like I said before, we're not doing any actual coding today. We are going to do the designing. So when you open this up, it might start in your own language, but if you go all the way to the bottom, you should see something like this. Everyone can code projects. And the one that we need is this one, design a simple app. Okay. If you click on that one, you will come here, and here you can see more about the project. So it is designed to be a 2-hour lesson. We've got an hour and a half today, so we won't do all of it. Yes, and if you cannot find it, please let us know. Veronique is here to help me in the chat as well. And so this is an example of what we are making. It's really a simple interactive app, and this is a daily affirmations app to make you feel grateful, happy, or excited. And this is not the exact thing that we're designing, but it's one that we're using as an example. What you'll need is Keynote for iPad. And now there's 2 ways to, or 3 ways actually, to kind of follow along. It is web-based, so when you are teaching this, you can just click on this and just open up the website and follow this with your students. So all of the steps are in here, right? Step 1. Or you can download this as a Keynote deck. Here, download the project presentation in Keynote. So when you download that and open that in Keynote, then you have this lesson to do with your students. Right now, I am your teacher, so you can follow along with me, but feel free to go ahead, press download, and this will actually be your workbook as well. So now hopefully you will be able to find this. Please thumbs up if you found it, or questions in the chat if you need some more guidance. It's the design a simple app and then Keynote deck. Okay, I see quite a few hands up. Found it. Yes, yes, some more. All right, excellent. Okay. And so to make the most of this session today, it might be best if you have 2 devices. So one to kind of look at me on and to follow the steps or look at my slides, and one to kind of do the work on. So preferably that's your iPad, because you'll be drawing either with your finger or with your pencil on that later. If you come back to the WebEx, I just have a little poll here that you should all be able to see, which is, are you using an iPad and or MacBook now? And please let us know to what extent you'll be able to perfectly follow us. All right, excellent. Okay. So for those of you who are on the iPad, it might be best to kind of listen to my explanations and to kind of step through the Keynote deck yourself, if you've downloaded it from the Learning Center. If you're on the MacBook, you can have two screens open, so you'll be fine. If you have both, then look at me on the MacBook and do the work on the iPad. If you're on neither, then I'm assuming you're on a Chromebook or a Windows laptop. You'll be able to follow along and watch me. Some of the design stuff you might either have to do in Google Slides or PowerPoint, or you can also actually just perfectly do it on paper. Okay. All right. Then I have one more question, and that is, have you ever used Keynote before? Okay. So what is the level of Keynote use here? So no, I haven't. What's Keynote? Yes for presentations or yes for app design. And so I am assuming that most of you are using Keynote. You're using it for presentations first, and then secondly, you're using it for app design, as that's more like a more advanced use of the app. But maybe that's a bad assumption on my part. Okay, so most of you have. Okay, that's great, but not for uh, app design. So only 1%, only one of you is asking what's Keynote. Keynote is a presentation software, so you use it for to create slides. But today we are going to use it to design our apps. All right, excellent. Okay, so you can follow along with me on the deck that you have just downloaded. And as we are going through this lesson, as we are going through all of these steps, please feel free to ask any questions in the chat. There's 124 of you, so I will try to adjust my pace to a medium, but if I'm going too fast or if I'm going too slow, please let me know and I'll adjust. All right. Okay. So what we are doing today is design a simple app. And so this lesson is, as I said earlier, is estimated for 2 hours when you do this with your students. And so there are 4 parts to it. You are brainstorming and planning your app. Then you are creating a Keynote prototype. And the idea of a prototype is that it looks exactly as your professional app will, and it functions as your professional, as a professional app does, but it's not coded. It is completely in Keynote.
Susanna, somebody's asking if you can share the deck again.
Yeah. So Verena, if you go to that link and you scroll down, you scroll all the way down. I will just show it again. If you this link will go to the teaching code with Swift Playgrounds page, right? And this will tell you more about the whole curriculum. But we are talking today about the new projects. And the projects you can find here. And today we are doing a simple app. Next week we're actually going to code. But today we're doing design a simple app. And if you click on this, then you will find the keynotes at the bottom of the page here. I hope that helps. Okay. All right. Thank you, Verena. Nope, nope. There we go. Okay, so after you've created your prototype, then there's a part about evaluation. So you're going to show it to your classmates, your grandmother, your brother and sister, and you're going to see what they are doing, evaluate whether it's achieved your goal. And then there's also some lessons about promoting your app. So writing informational copy about what would your App Store page look like, or what would a blog post about your app, what would it say? Okay, but today we're only going to do the first part, so brainstorming, planning, and the Keynote prototype. So that's meant to be 80 minutes, so we'll see how we go. All right. So this is the example that I just showed you. That is also in the deck. And so it's a little bit of an interactive thing. And what it does, it's supposed to make your day a little bit better. You have daily affirmations that will make you feel grateful, happy, or excited. And the idea is that a random affirmation comes up. Now, of course, this is a very general idea. At this point, you can kind of start thinking about, okay, what kind of app would I want my students to create? What would make sense for the theme that I am tackling today? Or this month with my students, or what could help them with let them think about what would help them with their emotional well-being. In that case, maybe an affirmations app would be great. Or I've also had students create like a daily joke or a habit tracker kind of thing. You can have lots of different ideas. What we are going to do today is you are going to brainstorm and plan an app that you are going to create a prototype of in the next hour. And so your prompt is generate 10 ideas in 10 minutes for an app that makes your teaching day or your students' day better. So maybe think about, it's the start of the school year. What could help you at the start of your school? Uh, um, yeah, what could make your teaching day or your students' day better, especially maybe the start of the school year? So this is a workbook, so you can write in here, right? So at the start of my school year, I always oh, that's the wrong pen. I always have trouble with remembering students' names. So what could help me remember student names? Student names. Oops. Maybe something seating plan like a seating plan app. Maybe a name checker. Daily name and face. Okay, so start thinking about any problem that you might have at the start of this year, and start writing some solutions. And I've already given you some time, so I will give you 3 minutes and 35 more seconds. And I'm going to set a timer. Where to find step one slide? Does anybody have the slide number of that slide? Because mine is slightly different because I've adapted it for today's session. Slide 8. Okay. Thanks, Peter and Bradley. Okay, 42 seconds left. Five, four, three, two, one. All right, time is up. Was everybody able to get at least 8 ideas? Thumbs up if you've got some. Not yet, not yet. You're thinking. Okay, great. Okay, excellent. Okay, so now we're going to share some ideas, and this next step might be chaos because there's 123 of us in here. What I'll do is I'll let you post your maybe your 5 best ideas to this Padlet wall. So add your ideas to the Padlet wall. And when you click on the link in the chat or when you scan this code, it will take you to a Padlet, which I'm assuming a lot of you are familiar with. And then the left column, it asks you to add your ideas. So tap on the little plus underneath brainstorm in the left column. And then we get to see everybody's ideas. There's 122 of us, so there might be a lot of ideas soon. So let's have a look. So just click on the little plus. Verena is already there. Okay, organization of credentials of applications, type table routines, a daily homework list. Okay, monthly meal plans for the cantina. Nice. Okay, I will also go to the Padlet on here. A back massage machine. All right, that will certainly make my teaching day better. Yes, there we go. Vocabulary trainer, a planning tool. Nice. Regular literacy, numeracy. Focus for learning, important information, a to-do list, a radar chart of excellence. That sounds very intriguing, very interesting. Your daily jelly bean. Okay, so how this is designed in the Keynote deck is that you would have your students kind of go around the classroom or go around in groups with their iPad and letting everybody see their 10 ideas. So kind of like this. And then they get to drag these stars, or their fellow students get to drag a star next to the app idea that they like best. Now, we can't do that right now as we are in a remote setting, but I already see some of you doing like a little thumbs up. Toilet time watcher, nice. So feel free to kind of add your thumbs up next to ideas that you like. What to do in breaks, yeah, lesson idea, yeah. So I'll just give you about 2 minutes to kind of put some thumbs up on the ones that you like, and to kind of read everybody else's. And then the idea is that you get some quick feedback on what other people think is a great idea, and so that, you know, hopefully you'll make something that other people will enjoy as well. Daily gratitude. Feel free to also add a comment. Maybe you want to steal somebody else's idea, that's also fine. A good news app, I like that. Daily compliment. Some great ideas here. Foreign students, help in other languages, yeah. I just spoke to a teacher in around Newcastle last week who was using Keynote to create kind of like a soundboard for his foreign students, so that the students could ask to go to the toilet by just clicking on a picture of the toilet, for example. All right, okay. So hopefully you now, through this messy process, which isn't perfect, so thank you for bearing with me. So now you have kind of an idea of which one idea, so take one of your 10, which one idea you kind of want to develop further. Okay. So the next step is that we are going to do a rapid prototyping activity. And for this, you need to be able to, to draw. So either have a finger ready, an Apple Pencil ready, or just odd pen and paper. You can also do this just with pen and paper. And if you're on the MacBook, you can choose to do it with pen and paper, or just kind of add boxes from Keynote. I'll kind of tell you what the idea is. So rapid prototyping helps you think creatively about what your app could look like and how it could work. And so we are going to use the following slides. So you should see here that you have 6 kind of empty iPad frames. So you are going to come up with 6 ideas in 1 minute. Okay, so here it says 15 minutes, 5 ideas in 15 minutes. That's when you're doing this with students. I am going to make it more difficult on you guys. I'm going to do 6 in 6 minutes. Okay, and so what I'm going to ask you is 6 times in a row, you think about what would your main interface, so your main screen of your app, look like. Okay, so if we take this daily affirmation idea, then okay, in this instance, in this example, you're kind of sliding through it. Okay, here you're pressing a button, And this is the kind of what the final thing came up with. It's one that was helpful. Somebody should mute themselves, I think. Can you mute them, Veronique? Yep, thank you. And so each idea is different. So you're going to think about your app 6 different times. Yeah? Okay. So I'm going to set a timer, and you will grab a pen or your finger and add a drawing. For those of you who are new to Keynote, at the top here, and if you're going to use your finger, you see this media, this image, and then here you find drawing. Yeah, and then you should be able to add a drawing, right? So at this point, you only have 1 minute, so you really should not worry about it being ugly, right? You can't make something pretty, so it's perfectly fine to just use your finger. Okay. And so you're going to think about your one best app from the last 10, and you're going to rethink your app 6 different times. All right. You ready? Yeah? All ready? Okay. Then I'm going to set the first minute now. Ready, set, go. Start drawing. Ooh, that's your first minute gone. Okay. Now go to the next slide, and I'm going to start a timer again. If you're using pen and paper, grab a new piece of paper or move on to a different corner. And here's your next minute, starting now. Oh, that's the next minute. Okay. Jackie, you're saying that you're lost. Are you able to draw in the Keynote? You kind of need that for this activity. All right, for everybody else, third slide. Go on to the third one. And again, you have 1 minute. 1 minute, let's go. Okay, that was number 3. Now over to number 4. At this point, you and your students will get frustrated because you start thinking you're out of ideas, and that's the way it should be, right? This activity is supposed to have some frustration. All right, 4th one. Ready, set, go. Okay, that was the 4th one. All right. Next up, we have number 5. Ready, set, go. Okay, and now the last one. Hopefully that will be your best idea yet. Ready, set, go. Last one. Oh, okay. Time is up. Okay, that was the last one. Okay. So like I said, this was for some people love this, some for some it's very frustrating. When I do this with my students, I usually do 10 in 10 minutes or 10 in 20 minutes depending on what their mood is like. But it always people are always frustrated. But that's okay. The reason why we're doing this is because, and students are the worst for this, they come up with one idea and they see it in their head and that's what they're going to make. But then if they go create that immediately, then they will have spent all of their time creating their fully fledged thing on an idea that yeah, nobody else was really behind, or nobody else saw kind of the use of. So what you're trying to prevent is to have them to let them have like tunnel vision on, okay, this is the idea that I am going to create, and it's completely finished, and they've spent lots of time on it, and then that's the first time that they're going to get feedback on it. They should, or this lesson is created in a way that they're getting feedback at every step from their classmates, or from their peers, right? So now you've got 5 or 6 very small ideas, and we're going to see if we can get some feedback again. So if you've been doing this on paper, then maybe you can create a photo of your paper. If you've been doing it on your iPad, then there's a nifty way to have all of your 6 designs in one view. So it is under presentation. Oh, now I forgot where it was. Yes, there we go. So top left, if you select this icon there, and then you choose light table, then you get to see multiple designs in one go. So here you can see my 6. You can kind of zoom in and zoom out with your finger until you get it right. I want to have 6, 9, okay. All right, so when you have them all, take a screenshot. And again, I'm going to send you to that Padlet and see if you can put some of your designs up there. Let's put the Padlet back up, right? So if you want to see this view, you tap on next to the name of your presentation in Keynote, and then you choose Light Table here instead of Slide View. And Light Table gives you an overview of all of your slides. Okay, then when you have your screenshot or your photos, you can add it to your Padlet wall again. I've also pasted the link into the chat. What you would do with your students, you would just have them show each other. They would just be working in a group, and they'll just kind of show each other their ideas, and then they get to pick favorites again. So at this point, you can post them below rapid prototyping. So we're now working in the second column. There's 2 great examples there already. That looks good. 3, all right, that's the rated chart of excellence, great. Learning progression project, that looks nice. Since I clicked on done, all my work disappeared. That definitely shouldn't happen. You mean done when you were done with your drawing, Phil? If you tap on done, yeah, it should just go, yeah, it should just save your thing. There's an undo button on the top right. Check what happens when you do that. Just shake your iPad. Yeah, that's also undo. Anna's not joking. Okay, nice. Ah, that looks good.
Susanne, I can't hear you anymore.
Ooh. Yeah, I'm just trying to find the right Padlet examples. Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to show everybody's examples. Yes, here they are again. Ooh, somebody's done a lot of drawing. That looks good. That looks good. Nice, nice. Okay, and so right now we're only getting a little snapshot of what everybody's done. There's another pie. You're all doing very intricate designs, but it looks great. And so at this point, this is also when you, well, it depends. If you're only doing this project with your students as like a design activity, and then you can kind of um, um, guide your students here and let them think as crazy as they want. If you're also going to code it, then at this point you can kind of start nudging your students into, oh, okay, but how would you do this? Oh, you're going to use machine learning. Okay, great. That's going to be really difficult. So at this point, you can also remind them that, okay, we're designing a simple app, so maybe keep it simple. Or if you're not going to code it, then let their ideas go crazy. Okay, so this is also nice, like a dashboard, a daily dashboard. Looks great. Looks great. Okay, I love your ideas. And so at this point again, ask feedback or give feedback, and then eventually you and your students will come up out of these 6 designs with hopefully the one that they like best. And what I found with my students is that 9 out of 10 times it was like their 5th or 6th idea that eventually was the best. It was never the first idea that they were drawing. So it's always like the next iterations of your designs that really work best. Okay, but I love your ideas. Yeah, looks great. Okay, so the feedback part is a little bit difficult as we are doing it now. So you'll have to kind of give yourself some feedback on which design you want to continue. Okay, so we've gone from 10 ideas to 6 designs, and now we are going to create our prototype. And so this is now the second part of this lesson. And here it will be, it also depends how you do this with your students. If this is their first step into Keynote, then the deck is there to help you and your students along. It has all the information on how to add media, how to resize, how to add text to a shape. So it's really hands-on, or it really takes you by the hand and it guides you through it step by step by step. If your students know Keynote, then you can just tell them, okay, now you've drawn it, now go create it in Keynote. But I also found with my students, when I do this at the start of the year, this Keynote prototyping, the Keynote presentations that they make for all the other subjects and throughout the rest of the year are a lot more advanced and a lot more interesting, because they're not just using like a template and they don't just have like the text at the top and then a bullet point maybe. They're really thinking about, okay, how can I best design this this slide? Okay, so at this point, our roads will diverge and to later come back together again, because I know some of you guys are Keynote experts. Some of you might prefer to kind of just figure things out yourself, and some of you want to take my hand and let me kind of guide you through it. Okay, so there are 3 options. You can either follow me And so I've thought of this name log or this name checker app, and I am going to create that. And so I will show you, okay, this is how you add a shape. This is how you add text. This is how you change the color. This is how you go from slide 1 to slide 2, how you add a button, right? If you think, okay, I know most of that, I just want to give it a go myself, and when I get stuck, I will look it up in this Keynote deck, because all of the instructions are here, right? That's all of these next slides. Then you can do step 2. You will follow the deck and kind of start your own path. And then number 3 is you just do it completely without us, and you will take 20 minutes to design your own app. Okay.
So Susanne, just to make sure that everybody understands, we now choose one design out of the 6 that we made.
Yeah.
We choose
and
one and we're going to make that.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. Okay. And so for all of you, there's really one thing that makes an app in Keynote and not a presentation, and that is that you have links, so that it has buttons, right? When you're doing a Keynote presentation, you're just tapping next, 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 and it just slides through it. And an app is interactive. You press a button and it takes you to a different slide. So for all of you, I will just show how that works. And after that, you will go your own path. And then I want to see your designs, of course. So I want you to come back again afterwards. Okay, so I've got 3 slides here with 3 buttons on it. And so I can jump from 2 to 3, 2, 1, and I'm tapping on all of the buttons. And that is these 3 slides here. And you can also see that these have these links here. Now, how does that work? Not delete the whole thing, but okay. So how do you add a link? You select a shape. And so this is for those of you who know some Keynote already, but are just missing this bit. So just have a look, and then later you can try it yourself. So you select a shape, and then if you tap on this little, what do you call it, an arrow, chevron, there is link there. And then you can link it to a slide. So on the left here, you can see the numbers. And so this number 1, I want to link actually to 26. Okay, and then you can tap elsewhere. And this one, number 2, it links to slide 27. So that's where this one is. And then this one goes to 28. Okay. And so everything that you want to make interactive, you should link to the slide number. Yeah. And Peter's tip is here, link it absolute and not relative. I think you mean by that, link it to the actual number, not next slide. Because if I now add a slide in between here later, it's going to link to that next slide and no longer to the actual number that we want to link it to. Yeah. If you want to see how it works and kind of like make it a real app, you press this play. And now it looks like a proper app. Okay. There's one more thing. So there's 2 steps. What you also need to do is if you tap on the title and then the chevron to the bottom, there you see presentation options, and then presentation type. And this one should be links only, because otherwise, if I tap anywhere, it just goes to the next slide. So this should be links only. And now, if I play this and I tap anywhere, nothing happens, right? It only goes to a different slide when I tap on a link. So now it's like an app. It's no longer like a presentation. So you need those two things.
And you show them again, Susanne?
Yep. So next to, if you go to the top left, you see the name of your presentation. Probably like presentation 4 or 1 if it's your first one. And then you see presentation options. And then next to that, presentation type. And then it should be links only. Links only. Links only. Okay, now your presentation is an app. Okay. And so now those of you who are in 2 and 3, you should be able to create your idea. Like I said, you've got 20 minutes or so. So let's come back at 6:20, and I want to see some of those ideas up in the Padlet again, and then at 6:20 we can look at it. So for those of you who want to follow me, that's what we will do now. So what we are actually going to do is we are going to tap on this little chevron to go out of this presentation and to start a new one. Okay. And then tap on this little plus at the top here. And then we are going to choose a theme. Okay, if you already know that you want your app to have lots of brilliant colors, then feel free to choose something with fancy colors here. I'm just going to go with a basic white. Okay.
Can we maybe get a thumbs up for those, or
Yeah,
thumbs
thumbs up
down?
if you're able to do that. At this point, I might go a little bit slower because I'm assuming that most of you are new to Keynote, and because otherwise you would have joined group 2 and 3. Okay, excellent. Nicholas, you shouldn't be in this group. Get out of here. Okay, so we are doing a app, right? That means that we don't actually need these placeholders for text. So we can actually delete all of these. So tap on it, and then you get this little menu and press delete. And the other one, the same. We can delete that one and delete. Okay, so now we have a blank slate. And actually, let's immediately make this links only. So for me, it's my 139th presentation. Go to presentation options and then presentation type, links only. Okay. So I am now going to create my my pronunciation app that will help me remember the pronunciation of my student names. So at this point, you can either choose to kind of copy me, or okay, my app needs a button as well. I'm going to place it here, right? That's up to you. Okay, so at the top here, we have all of the options to add stuff. And I am going to click the square and the circle, and there I will grab this rounded rectangle. Okay, so this rounded rectangle I can pick up, and I can place it here on the top left, and you also see the blue edges. If I drag those, I can make it any shape that I want them to be. So I want them like this. And I realized that for those of you who only have one device, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated because you need to listen to me, look at the screen, and also work on your own device. Okay, now I'm going to add a difficult to pronounce name in here, and we'll do a Dutch name to start. Jitske, often pronounced as Jetski, but it's Jitske.
How do you write, Susanne?
How do you write? You double tap. You double tap on the shape, and it becomes a text box. And so every shape can also become a text box, which is why if you only want text with like a blank background, you can also find that here, because this is actually also just a shape as a text box. So if you just want a blank text, then you also find that right there. Okay, so I double tap. Jitske. Okay. Then I want it to have a different color. I will select the shape, and then here I can see the brush. So every time I want to add something, I go either to this table, chart, shape, or photos. When I want to change what it looks like, I go to the brush. So when I tap on the brush, there's 3 tabs at the top. And we'll stick to style at the moment. So you've got your style, and I can fill it with a color. You can choose a color, or just choose like a little preset here. If I want to copy one, because I'm going to have like different names, I can tap on it and then select copy, and then tap anywhere, and I can paste it. Okay. Now I just need to change the names.
And here you just need to make sure that you copy or you select the box and not the name. So you need
Yeah,
to
exactly.
click outside.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's do another name here, Sorka, and let's do a French one, Guillaume. Is that the correct pronunciation, Veronique?
Yes, Guillaume.
Guillaume. There you go. Anna is asking how you get to linking again. Could you say whether it's possible to rename the slides on the iPad? Oh, there's a Guillaume here. That's great. Anna, rename slides. You can't. They don't have names. They only have numbers. So you can add a link. So to add a link, you need to have like multiple slides, and you can add a slide here at the bottom. So to now add a link for this, and then if you select a box and then go to the little chevron and then tap link, I can now link it to slide 1, 2, or 3, because those are the only slides I have. Yep, so you only have numbers here. Yeah. Okay. Now, a little fun thing that I can do is I can also add, like this is a pronunciation app, right? I can add a audio bit. So under this image, there's media. So you can add photos or videos, or a YouTube video, or drawing in your app. Students love like adding their own watercolor drawings in here. And I can record audio. So this one is Jitske. Insert. And now this will show like oop. When I'm editing this, it will show the audio directly on the name. But when I'm playing it, you don't see it. You only see this. And now it should play. Can you hear it? Oh, I didn't share with our computer audio, did I? Jitske.
No, we
Jitske.
didn't hear anything.
Did you hear it now?
Yes,
Jitske.
now we hear it, but I
Yeah.
was talking.
Oh, this is interesting. Presentation type. Our presentation type is only link, so it doesn't actually go to the next link. Okay. Now it works. Jitske. Yes. Okay. So it's an animation, right? Normally you need to click and then the video starts, or you need to click and then the audio starts, but it's links only, so it only works after you've gone to like a next slide or a link. So what I did is I went to the animations here, animate, and then you can have a look at, you can have like the audio start on tap or after transition. So now if you go to the next slide, it plays Jitske. So when we press the button, it plays the audio. So that's great, that works. All right. So we know now how to add a shape. We know how to add a drawing, how to add audio. We know how to change the colors. You can have a border around it if you like, a shadow. So this is all just kind of to make it look pretty. And you know how to add the links, okay? Now, the only thing that maybe you need to know that is left, so this is one as a cooking show. This is one I prepared earlier. I've added like a little fake animation where I'm recording the audio here. And then you can delete it or add the name. Okay, so we're adding the name, and now we have another name in here. And we can press the plus, and it goes to the next thing. So this is what it could look like after you spent an hour on it or so. And it's the same name again, it's on a loop, and that's why this is a prototype. So it looks like the real thing, but you're not actually doing anything with it. We can delete it, and it should have gone back to the first slide. So this one should actually go link to slide 1. Yeah, then we're back. Okay. Sorka, Jitske, Guillaume. Yes. All right. Okay. So I think that's all you need to create your app. I saw some of you had like some charts in there as well. That's a bit too much to get into now. I've given the rest until 1:15, so just spend another 3-4 minutes on this. And I know you won't be able to finish it, and that's absolutely fine. But hopefully you now are able to to show your students how they can create their own. So I'll just give you 3 more minutes, and then I will see if everybody can get back and upload their designs onto the Padlet. And again, if you get stuck, everything is in the project as well. Good to see you, Marta. All right, one more minute. Then I would love to see if we could have some examples up on the Padlet. I know it's not done, and I know you need to spend some more time on this. All right, everybody. Was somebody able to have something that they're at least a little bit proud of? You got about 20 minutes in there. I would love for you guys to take some screenshots, or if you want, you can also export your presentation as a GIF. Then you have, if you have multiple slides, you have them all together. The way you do that is tap on name log or your presentation title, and then here you have export, and then you can choose animated GIF. You can also do movie, but Padlet doesn't always work great with movies, so you can export this as a GIF and then upload it onto the Padlet. It would be great to see some of your work on there. So just export this and then save it to photos. But I know it's also a big ask because we only gave you a very short amount of time. Save image there, and now you should be able to upload it onto the Padlet. Nice, I already see some coming in, that's great. Oh, I also see somebody using the same trick again as last time, where they're only showing they're showing the light table like this. That also works, that's also great. Yeah, somebody's got a GIF on there, excellent.
Susanna, could you please show then how to add an audio
Add
as a
audio,
button?
yeah, as a button, yes. So has the person added the audio already, and are they now having trouble playing it? Or so how
I
do you
think
add the
it's
audio?
add it as a button.
Yeah, here image and then record audio. And so here is my other audio. Stop and then insert. And now this this audio, you only see this when you're editing it. So you actually need to add like something that will make your users tap here, because otherwise it won't be played. Yeah. Now, if your app is links only, then it only plays when you have like one audio on that slide. But this is a little bit more complicated. So let's delete that one. Yeah. So when it's links only, it only works. It only kind of works this way. Paste. So I'm just stalling for you guys to add your audio or add your designs to the Padlet while I'm explaining this. Okay. So yeah, this one can go. Skip. Yeah, yes, okay. So let's see how that goes.
Sorka.
Oh, wrong one.
Guillaume.
Yeah.
Jitske.
Yes. Okay, so then it works. Because when you're putting it as presentation only, it doesn't automatically start playing the animation, right? So you need to have the animation in there because it says on tap, okay, but it doesn't recognize the tap. So then you might need to have it after transition. Okay, but this is a little bit more advanced. If you don't want your students to do this, then just don't add any audio in as the example. This was something that made it cool for this demo, but also a little bit more complicated. All right, let's have a look at some of your designs. Let's see. I see some moving images. That's great. Toilet
We don't
time
see
watcher.
your.
Nice.
We
Yes, it's coming. Prototypes. Nice. The moodometer. Did you eat breakfast? Nice. Changing nice. That's cool. Let's go to the prototypes. Scroll down. Yes. Nice. How many words can you find? Toilet time watcher, great. Kilometer. Floor plan, nice. Okay, no floor plans yet. Yep, still work in progress. This one, a timetable, nice. Remember the names, cool. Oops, I'm moving it. Nice, nice. Looks great, guys. And amazing what you were able to do. I know we gave you too little time. So remember that this is you normally do this for like 2 hours with your students, but we only had an hour and a half, and we're adding bits of like explanations and stuff as well, because after this you could have your students evaluate again. So again, they're asking for feedback, and every time the pieces of feedback that they're asking gets a little bit more complex and bigger as well. So at this point, you let your fellow classmates, or maybe even your parents or your brother or sister, tap through your app, and you would kind of look at them. Okay, are they doing what I expected them to do? Are they tapping the buttons that I wanted them to tap? And very often the students would say, no, you're doing it wrong. But actually, in real life, nobody's there next to you telling you what buttons to press. So if they feel they're doing it wrong, they've actually designed it wrong because they didn't make it clear that which button they wanted to be pressed. Okay, and then they can ask for feedback. So again, they use this as a little workbook. How would you rate your experience? Was it a 2? Was it a 5? And then they can write in here as well. We're not going to do this now. I just want to show it to you. And then afterwards, they can promote their app. They can write in here what would their product page look like. And the first they look at the example of the Swift Playgrounds page. This one here. And then they can go create their own. So they can add screenshots of their app, write the app description, what category is it in, what is the age rating. Are 4-year-olds also allowed to use this app? All right, so that's the full project. This is the first out of 4 that are up on the Learning Center. And so what we did today is we came up with lots of ideas for an app. We practiced being an app designer, and we learned Keynote skills for rapid prototyping. So we prototyped on paper or with our pens in our fingers, and we also made a rapid prototype in Keynote. And this is a brilliantly quick way to get your ideas on paper before you actually start coding it. And so I would love to hear your ideas on this. Is how are you going to bring this to your classroom? Could you write your ideas down in the chat, please? I would love to hear if any of you guys had some light bulbs that going off, thinking, oh, I can actually use this in my year 8 science class for this project. Or yeah, over to you guys. What do you guys think? How are you going to bring this into your classroom? How will you integrate it into your curriculum? Or maybe what would you change about this to make it work better for your classroom? Initiation practice, yeah, so year 1, that's nice. Tracking system, if they uphold our values, nice. Any other ideas? Yeah, just designing apps for your coding club, ages 6 to 11, yep. Cool, yep. Reflection of the work. More questions, more knowledge. Popular science, yeah. Profile, yeah. So very often we ask our students to create a presentation, to write an essay, and I think more and more that we'll see that we can also ask them, like, write an app that will solve a problem that we've been talking about today. And it could just be like an informational app, but it could also be thinking about, okay, what could actually solve a problem for us in our local community? And really letting our students take action as well, and yeah, think about the solutions and not just the problems. I've also heard about schools who let their younger students design the app in Keynote, and then let the senior students actually go and create it in Swift Playgrounds, so that there's a nice collaboration there. Okay. Great to hear that you've got so many great ideas. So this is the link to the first page again. If you want to know more about teaching code with Swift Playgrounds. All this time I've been thinking, why are the next steps not coming up on this slide? And that's because I've put this into links only. There we go. Now I can play it again. Okay. So this is the teaching code again. Yes. And building with stacks and shapes is coming up next. So if you're thinking, okay, this design is great, how do I actually go and make this now? How do I learn how to write code? Because I'm actually really excited about building this app. We're going to do the very first steps into that process next week, same time, different link. And you can find out more on the link that Irini just shared with you. And you can also scan this code here if you like. And then you can sign up. So next Monday, we are going to do the project build with stacks and shapes. It's the kind of the same process. It has a Keynote project that you can follow up on the Learning Center, but then we're actually doing the coding in Swift Playgrounds. So we're not designing anymore. We're going to build your self-portrait. And then if you want me to do this lesson that we did today, designing a simple app, if you want me to do that with your students, then on Wednesday, the 18th of October, you can have your students join me live from 10 to 11. And yeah, then I will be doing it with your students. So that's 10 o'clock for those of you in Ireland, Scotland, England, and then 11 a.m. for those of you in the mainland Europe.
Sorry for the
And-
confusion. It's 10 o'clock CET, 10 o'clock European time.
Oh, it is. Oh, okay. Okay, my bad. Okay, so 10 a.m. 10 a.m. Great. And then last week, I also wrote a blog about the 4 projects that are live. So we'll be showing you 2 in preparation for this code week, but there are 4 projects in total. And if you want to know about those projects, you can read about those here. So lots of links now being bombarded at you. Yeah, know that you can watch this again on the Code Week YouTube channel as well. Right. And that's 6:30 exactly. So, oh, whoops, I'm clicking the link. Yep. Thank you very much for joining us today. It was great to have you. Brilliant designs up on the Padlet. You really did a lot more than we thought you could have done in the time that we gave you. So I'm proud of you all, and I really hope that you will do this with your students. And feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. And I hope to see many of you again next week. Thank you all.